Oh, hello there. Welcome to my personal YouTube channel. I'm Brian Brushwood, host of Scam School on the Revision 3 Network, and this is a new experiment where I am going to drink a beer and watch this latest episode of Scam School, give you guys some behind-the-scenes commentary, let you know exactly how we came up with everything that we did. For those of you wondering, yes, I have nakedly stolen this idea from can't talk right, from what Ronald D. Moore did in the Battlestar Galactica series. I used to love listening to his podcasts and getting the inside rocket sauce. Thought it'd be fun to bring that experience to you guys. If you like it, I'll do them till the end of time. If you don't like it, then screw you. Set fire to your house. Let's go ahead and get started. Boom.
This week on Scam School, we give you actual talent.
By the way, that is a very famous vehicle that I'm in. That's the Austin Duck Tours bus that just happened to be there the other day. And the guy we were shooting, I was like, hey, we do this show and I'm like a host and can we just shoot something in there? And he's like, sure, you want to pull the air horn? I'm like, are you kidding me? Yes. It was like a dream.
Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street.
By the way, there's a story behind that phrase, social engineering at the bar and on the street. I'll share it sometime. For those of you guys wondering, I'm drinking a Shiner FM 966, which is their springtime seasonal ale that we're having for the first time. And this is a special episode of Scam School because it's one of the first ones that we full on give you a real talent.
Ultimate fantasy Scam School shoot for me because we're hanging with all my favorite people who the top magicians in all of the college market. We got Pete Bois, Dan Martin back on the show, and of course Eric Dettelman.
That's Pete
from
Bois,
America's Got Talent.
B-O-I-E, which is a very complicated way to spell Bois. Eric Dettelman, a lot of people know because he was one of the semifinalists on America's Got Talent. He was Howard Stern's favorite guy on the show, and he's genuinely like one of the nicest, most thoughtful, sweetest people on planet Earth. It was really great to have him on.
All of us could learn an actual skill that's totally not BS, that will actually make us look smart to other people. So of course we naturally turn to you, Eric.
Right.
Now I'll be honest, when Eric told me what it was that we were going to be learning, how to instantly derive cube roots, I was like, there's no way. Like Scam School's bedrock principle of whatever it is, it's got to be dead simple enough to where you could do it tonight. It's got to be approachable for the everyman to just get started and jump in. And even now you can see as we're doing this first calculation, and he nails the fact that I picked 69 because I'm just that mature. He says drinking a beer on the internet.
Okay.
So go ahead.
But even at this point, I'm thinking there's no freaking way. There's no way that anyone's going to be able to learn this. But like me especially, had no idea, had never tried it before, followed his system, and we got it down instantly.
You put a very interesting number in.
I don't know what
was
you're
that
talking about.
69?
It was the number 69. Shut up. Do it again.
Do another one. That was an obvious one. Maybe I memorized.
So people ask all the time whether or not we fake stuff and set stuff up in advance. This one, obviously, we have friendlies, is the way I think of them. We have people who I'm friends with in real life who know that we're shooting a thing and don't mind if we restart something if something goes awry. But I believe this may have been one of the fastest Scam School shoots we've ever done because usually we have to go back and do pickup shots. I think the only pickup shot that we needed to do in this one was getting the over-the-shoulder shot of when he was writing stuff because we only had 3 cameras and they're all positioned in front, so there was never a camera that could be positioned behind to get the over-the-shoulder. However, I do want to point this out. My favorite ad we've ever done.
I got this super cool trick for you. Yep. You have to set up all the cards in a very specific
It'd take
order.
you a while to put them
It took
in.
me like 30 minutes to get this.
How's that feel? Should have backed up with carbonite. That's right, carbonite. Because when you
So this
say
was
it
one.
matters,
This
you
is
don't
normally
want
on
to
the
sort of
ads.
fail.
I'm always
Your
very
external
careful. I
backups
want to make sure that we
lost
hit all the
forever.
messaging
You got
points that they give
important
to us.
stuff. You put a lot
I want to
of
make
effort
sure
into
that
content on your computer. And if you don't
that
wanna
we
lose it
get
forever,
everything right.
see our friends
This was
over at
one take.
Carbonite.
Like
They
I slapped it
upload
and
stuff
walked forward, and
automatically
he
to
just
the
started
cloud, so
picking
all
up
your
stuff in the
backups are
background.
available.
This is
You're
what's
able
great
to
about
access
Pete
it
Bois.
on
He's
an app
totally
on your
flexible and
phone,
can go in for
Android,
that kind of
smart
thing.
device. They got plans for everything
I
from
guess
backing up your single
Carbonite was
computer
okay
to
with
your
that.
entire network. And the best
Wait,
part is
I haven't
you
heard
use
any
promo code
negatives
Scam
back
School
for
at
this.
checkout. You'll get
I mean, you know how it
free
goes with the
with your
sponsored
order.
things. It's
But
like you
get
guys
free
watch stuff
trial. Head on
online, and
over
there's
to
a billion people
carbonite.com.
all selling the exact same 5 things, and you get the same ads over and over again.
All right,
It's
walk
like
us
I just
through
want to
this,
make
Eric.
something a
First of
little
all,
bit
it
different.
does really work no matter what the 2-digit number is.
Right. It's got to be a 2-digit number that you're solving to.
Okay.
So,
Oh, I should
so
point
what's
out
the
that
first
Eric
step?
was telling me
There's
that
gotta be
it
a
gets
little bit
way
of
complicated
memorization, and,
for
so first we're just
3-digit
gonna write
numbers,
down the
and
digits, 0
that
through
it's
9,
even
so
more
0, 1,
difficult
2,
for
3,
only numbers that are
4,
squared
5,
instead of
6,
cubed.
7,
Like this
8,
part here where
9,
he's sketching
and you
out the
actually do need to know what the cubes
spectrum
are
of
each
numbers.
of these. So test yourself.
Once,
0
and it really does take very little time to get it down. I mean, even now it's been like a week since we shot this. I could probably recite the first 7 of them from memory, but it's really just at the end that's a little bit difficult.
5 cubed is 125.
Yep.
6
This
cubed
is a little bit
is
harder.
a little bit harder.
216.
But, okay, how
Yeah.
can you remember it? Because
This-
that's 36 times 6, right?
Yeah.
It's
So
216.
this is the part where you kind of just have to memorize
All
this,
right.
but we'll use this as a reference as you're memorizing.
And again,
All right.
like
7
this
cubed is
works
340,
as long
yeah,
as you have a
343.
vague idea
Okay.
of it.
8
You don't even
cubed
have
is
to fully
512,
memorize it.
and
The only
9
part you have to
cubed is
remember is the
729.
last digits, 3 and 7 swap and 2 and 8, which you're about to see. I'm assuming you've already watched this once straight through as we go forward here.
That's just the basic. You got to spend some time with this list and actually just memorize.
So this is
Yeah,
interesting
just
here.
as
You notice
far
that
as
we've got the
making the
numbers put up
associations, I
on
guess
the
what you
lower
wanna do
third
is just
there.
sort of
There's a lot of decisions that we have to make in post about like what you guys want to see. And in this case, because what we're doing is kind of a heavier math-centric episode, I knew that it wasn't enough to just say the words and assume everyone would follow along. There needed to be a visual hook that everybody could follow the entire time. And so this was something I pushed for, was having this during this whole discussion, as you hear everything, to know what we're talking about here.
Yeah, all right.
This, by the way, is the pickup shot that I was telling you about. You notice that that the angle, and this is something you could do for all of the programs that you watch on anything. Notice if it's from an angle that you know you didn't see a camera
Okay, I'm going to do
physically there when they shot it, then it was a pickup shot. So what we did in this case was, after we finished everything, we had Eric rewrite everything he wrote, but we wrote with an over-the-shoulder cam so that we could cut to this so that you guys could see it.
Everything to the left of the comma in the thousands place. So the 357 is going to appear somewhere on our chart. So 357 appears between 343 and
And I thought
512.
Eric did a really good job of explaining this. This idea, by the way, as he described it, came from Corinda's 13 Steps to Mentalism. I was about to say 12 Steps to Mentalism, which would make a lot of sense if Corinda was a drunk, but that's not the case. So it's 13 Steps to Mentalism, which is really kind of the Bible for mentalists. If you like the kind of stuff you saw Eric do on America's Got Talent, then that's totally with. By the way, I have a fantastic story of how not to do America's Got Talent, but I'll have to save that for another time.
193.
Maybe I'll tell the story right
So in
here
this case,
sometime.
you look at the
Maybe
ones on the left.
one of these days it'll be a
185
boring
falls
episode,
between
and I won't care, and I'll just spend the whole
125
episode telling this
16, right? We
amazing
haven't gotten
story,
to 6
and
yet.
you
It's
guys
gotta
can
be
get
a
it.
5 first.
Five, yep.
And the only one that ends in a 3 is over here, so it's got to be a 7.
57, that was the number.
So, like I
So
said,
obviously
you just
this
gotta
is limited
memorize
in that it's
that
got to be a
one,
2-digit
you
number
just look at
to
the
get
chart.
you
One
there,
is
but
one,
I'll
some
tell
of
you
them,
what, man,
the
it
9
looked like
ends in
friggin' magic
9,
to me
and just
when Eric
2
did
and
it to
8
me.
are
It totally
flipped,
fooled the
and 3
pants
and
off
7
of
are
me.
get out of here. We're
And
gonna
slayed
try it on
me.
each other.
But again, that's the part I was talking about, where the 3 and the 7 switch and the 2 and the 8 switch, that's the only thing that's a little bit hinky on there.
13,824. So, and don't
So
do
this is a
slow.
weird moment. When we do the pause and figure it out thing, this is one of those moments when you just have to have faith in the new medium that we're accustomed to. I'm assuming traditionally you would make a bigger deal about pausing and figuring it out, but it's like I believe we're in a world where
All right, here,
people only get fooled by their own,
1,600.
with their own
So the
permission.
first digit has to be
And so as a
2,
result, it's a
because
savvy audience who at that moment, that little pause and figure it out, is sort of this question. Like, would you rather have that moment of mystery or have that moment of figuring it out yourself? How deep do you want this lesson to go? Or do you just want to watch the funny man continue to do his ridiculous magic show at a bar? And I figure, like, I don't get to decide for you what your experience is, but I do want to give these little gateway bridges, these moments for people to decide, do I want the mystery? Do I want the experience? Do I want to become skilled in this thing? And then move forward from this.
And I guess the same with
Another thing about this episode is that it was perfect in length. 12 minutes is about how long I like Scam School episodes to be. If they go longer than 12 minutes, it's because it's a complicated idea that takes a little bit more to get across. And this was, on one hand, it's an actual skill, which takes a little more time, but on the other hand, it's a dead simple idea that I was really thrilled to make it so easy for people to get through.
Pick a big old fat meaty number.
59,319.
That's got to be.
Upside down rainbow.
It was 4, so it's got to be 30.
It's less than.
Hold on, I got 59,000.
less than 4.
59,000.
So 30,
319.
19.
We need another drink over here for this man.
39? I'm going to say it's 39. He says, like this is how long it's been since I've looked.
59,000 is less than the 64, so that would be 3.
Did I get it? Yep.
30.
30.
What's the last digit?
9.
Yeah! Dude!
All right, now.
This is what's crazy is you do enough of these and you totally forget what you said and did. And that's just a side effect of freaking coming up on 300 episodes. Can you guys believe it's been 300
what the cool
episodes?
thing is that
That's
this
part of
is
the
a lot
reason
of,
I really
you know,
love
mental
doing this
math,
behind the scenes stuff because at this point I get a lot of youngsters starting in magic, starting in performing on the internet who want a little bit of insight as to what it took to get there. And the short answer is just perform. Keep on performing.
All right, you ready?
What was it?
ready.
Teller wrote me years ago. He said, take your best stab and keep on stabbing. If it's in you, it'll come out. And that's what all of Scam School has been, is a case of me just doing my best to represent magic as an art, trying to get people interested. I don't know about you guys, but for me, 20 years ago, being a teenager interested in magic, magic was utterly dorky. But it was kind of cool at the same time. I love the idea of what magic could do, but in general, magic was so ridiculously just antiquated and dorky. Every magician was playing out-of-date music or whatever. And Scam School was my attempt, like, what if I could make magic look freaking cool? What if I could make magic look and give the social proof that says you could be the life of the party by being entertaining, doing magic and magic-related stuff. And I'd like to think that we've acquitted ourselves pretty well so far. But I'll tell you what, you're still seeing a lot of 19-year-old Brian's anger shows up in Scam School today. And hopefully it inspires you guys. You should get angry. And you also should definitely follow Eric Diddleman, Daniel Martin, and Pete Bois. All of them are on Twitter.
Of course, make sure to check out their Twitters as well. And little old me, I'm at Schwood.
And this space
on
is
the Twitters.
amazing that we
And of
shot
course,
it. I
new
didn't even
stuff
get
every
time to
week
talk
at
about the space. We're almost done with this.
Now, next week, you're not gonna
This
wanna miss it.
review
We're gonna
here,
go
but I'll tell you what,
through
guys.
high
In all
school
seriousness, I'm going to turn this down. In all seriousness, hit me up with questions, and I'll answer them right here. I think for at least the next month, I'm going to move forward and continue to give director's commentary on each of these episodes the moment they come out. Part of it is because I always want to know more about things that I dig, but also it'll be a good excuse to get you guys over on my personal channel where I could speak a little more freely about this stuff. We're doing a little of that in Behind the Scam, but I would like to do a lot more and have a direct communication with you guys. And that's it for this episode. So thank you for this week's director's commentary, even though I'm not the director. And it is questionable whether or not you learned any commentary. But however, I did drink part of my Shiner FM 966 seasonal ale. I love you guys. Bye.